Voice chat knows. What stock is that again? Welcome to Read the Room with Unc. What is up, everybody? It's Unc coming at you with Read the Room. Coming back from a little spring break, a little beach action. Looks like we took an okay week to trade a little lighter and stick to the notes. Got a new hot list for you. Professor Hart at work in the DD sector flow reads. So let's just get into this. Pretty much stay in alphabetical order here. Um, First, we have ACI, which is Albertsons. Like this one, Kroger, and a couple other plays this week, but this one stands out best from both the TA and the option side. Um, just have a nice shelf here at 33.5. Looking to test the 40 upper this week. Grocers look to be doing good. So next, we get into some chemicals here with AMRS. Armis. They kind of been channeling here in the low floors to $5 range. Just kind of see a breakout happening here before too long. Nice flat bottom here. The number that stands out is the tens, which is the bottom, which bottom of the drop, which caught right here. Now, you don't even have to really fill the gap, just back to the gap. I still like it even to the 7 level, which flow suggests both. Just a good chart with a flat bottom right now. Options and shares on this one. ASTR, looking good for better now from the flow side. Called this on the 3 test last week. We did break through, kind of turning support into resistance. Noticing these candles though on the day, they're definitely pushing upward. Kind of why I'm watching it for some continuation off of the $3 level this week. Just one of my regular rinse and repeat plays. Pretty easy to play and manage positions from, just to get a quick 10% or scale in, scale out trade around a core. Kind of same scenario here with the mining, metals, materials, all that kind of stuff. It's still really hot. This, to me, I thought this reminded me a lot of where Rig started. Just kind of respecting a trend line in a zone. With the flow reads, this is kind of one of the better setups. Strike prices are out here to the set $6 and $7 range, which is just perfect for this. So it's kind of a wait and see, but the mines in general are starting to perk up. And we'll go right into the next one, which is DNN, another mine. Same thing. This trend line's a little more aggressive, but the $2 price is a matter of time. Shout out to anyone that sat in this around the 150s. Your patience definitely going to pay off here. A big sector, not necessarily the rotation, but that's perking up. Gold was hot for a while. We kind of see silver coming back. There's a few of them this week. This is one of the professor's plays. I'd be real mindful when you see him call this from the option side. I like anything sub 450 here. This one had a pretty strong flow read. Fit pretty much inside the RTL box. Definitely getting beat down here. Like these ads, especially if you can get sub 4. Play back to at least this $5 RTL level. Flow suggests 5, and I believe 7. Top end of our box wasn't quite 7; it was 618. But that 4 to 5 play should be enough range for you to find a successful trade in. And 5 here, 5 below. Another one that the professor calls regularly. This one comes in and out. We just got an RTL box here right on the volume, middle of volume profile, excuse me, the bottom of volume profile. And that 185, 180 range was what the flow was reading. Just kind of like it to get out of this channel. Another great setup, especially from the option side if you're familiar with this chart. Froze continuation play from last week. Still kind of in the uptrend. Had a little bit of a pullback on Thursday. Reclaimed it perfectly on Friday. Still see the 1050 do 11 from the flow reads. So we're going to keep this one in the rotation. This is definitely a continuation. Not the best time to start playing this, but if you've already been on this one, the trend and trade should continue for you. Gato, another silver play. Definitely the theme this week with the silver plays. I like this chart overall. Anything sub 5 to me seems like it's going to be a safe ad. I would rather be closer to the 450 But this gets in this gap. This should totally take off. Um, my realistic target is 650 here, and you see the areas I have charted. I think we do get a little pullback um, before we do get going, but I don't think we're going to be offered 410s again. All right, let's get in some socials here. HYMC talked about this play being a mid candle play right here, which kind of lines up with a $2 psych. Our line in the sand is 175. I haven't put it on the chart yet. It will be an alert for me though. That kind of feels like the bottom. We're just looking for a similar setup and move from back here, where we get consolidation on the zone and we get pop on the news. So this feels like it's far from over, both in the options and on the TA side. Go right into Mullen. We addressed a lot here. What we see in Friday in the options. That 3 still a strong level. This should open pretty strong Monday just because of the 250 that did hold. Those shares are going to have to be distributed off the calls, and there was quite a few of them. So I expect we get a good pop Monday before we get back to the shorts versus retail battle. Volume wins here. That $100 million, or excuse me, that 100 million volume candle is very key. Be mindful of that when you're looking at the chart every day. It's not dead yet, at least not this week. Penn, just getting really beat down. Kind of seen DraftKings in the flow. This goes hand in hand with that. It's the better setup down here at 32. Seems like the absolute bottom. Range back to 60. More of the swing, need news catalyst, just like where the chart's at. A plus in my opinion, especially with the flow read. The one space play that's kind of in a great spot TA wise. We're getting real tight here above the 6. It just had bad reaction to ER. I look for retracement back to that level. Talked a little bit about the company, how they have pretty good contracts and enough work. They just need to deliver on that promise. Not a bad spot if you want to be in space plays. 438 on rig. Just consolidating on the level of support that we found before the next leg up from the professor. 5s, excuse me, 6s and 7s in the summer, I believe was the call. Yeah, this is the pullback we were looking for the next leg up. Just a wonderful setup and find by the professor. Been on this one since 380, or excuse me, 280. And Sanda, this is one gold play that kind of felt like it was lagging a little bit, Professor. He likes this one the most. I do like the chart from a technical standpoint. I don't think we're going to get 8s, so you got to kind of play the pullback. Maybe the 5%, 840 is probably more realistic, but the uptrend still continues here in a sector that's very strong, gold. And this is one I'll probably be swinging with the professor. Sandstorm, Sandridge Energy. This beat down. If you look on this thing from a historical level, they got thrashed, almost down to a penny stock. They're coming out of it now. Flow says 25, so that has my attention. More of a swing trade here. 16 would be the level I'd like to buy that on. 16 to 25 is still a $9 move, which is plenty of a percent for me. Crappy penny silver play I found. Love this. SVM sub 4s with the $5 PT. That's that 25% target I like. Kind of fits my style real well. If I can get sub 4s, I'm pretty happy here with just waiting this one out, especially with flow being suggesting that we are going to move that way. So this one just seems like more of a safer play on the silver side. And what I mean safer is just less downside than some others. TCAT we'll go right into here. Kind of talked about how this was a social play, levels to add, what we see confirming, how to kind of play those levels. Kind of said, don't be foolish if you're going to play this, kind of get in and out and don't add over 6 was a suggestion. You're just getting overextended at that point. This will have range. This will offer trades. This will be pumped by socials. So if that's your thing, be on the lookout for that. If you don't like fast moving stuff that might knife, please stay away. UPS and not Upstart, sorry. UPS and FedEx, both Professor mentioned. UPS makes the list. Overreaction. Flow suggested that we do get back to the zone. 220s were the leaps. I like this 212. It's just got an RTL box right on the middle of volume profile there. Great setup. This should recover. Be mindful we have ER here in about a week, I believe. Workhorse, great. Again, great call by the professor here out of the $2 range, 250s, I believe, $3 range. He called this. Got to move to 4, another move through 4 to 5. Now we're back on 4. Just responding well to psychological levels, and it's back to the original spot. So we're watching it this week. Again, another easy trade, 4 to 5. Common theme this week. And the wastewater resources, getting down here again to the nitty gritty. On the bottom, 2s and 3s are the calls. Stall lines up well. Seems like a limited risk down here on a stock that could get a lot of social buzz. I believe there was a few on it last week talking about water. This and the load were the two. No names needed. I don't know if this one's supposed to be on here, but I'm throwing it on here real quick. AG, it's a great silver play where you play pretty much from the shares, the leaps, the calls, all sides. It's on a nice level of support here at 1250, especially with the target of 18 and the flow. It just lines up with the RTL system real nice. And it fits the sector that we are very interested in this week, which is silver. All right, now we get into a little review on stuff mentioned last week. I kind of want to start off by addressing for the people that weren't in the room. I was real light this week because of the beach. Kind of taking a little different angle on really focusing on the professor's DD because he put so much time, effort, and it's great in general. It's very effective. That we want to focus on those, and then finding the poopy pennies around the sector is more of my style that helps the current trend in the room. So I'm going to continue to do that, and then of course, I had my daily mentions on things that I see as potential trades, and I'm also going to add a list of top fives. Like top 5 things under $1, top 5 things oversold, stuff like that. Just to kind of keep the plays that I do find that don't have flow reads in the room. But the majority of these are going to be either focused on what the professor has called and done DD on, or the plays that we have been successful in rinsing and repeating those. Like UEC and UUU this week. Didn't mention them at all. Kind of had a strong flow read the day before, and the charts lined up perfectly. I actually called this in the morning here before pre-market, but what I seen is on this chart. If you can see, we have this level confirming, which is mid candle here on this level, on this thing, and we had a big downward compression, which normally I would think this right here means that we're gonna fall. We're gonna continue to fall, maybe come back down to this 425 level. The next day, we didn't do that. We held that level and we actually flipped it, showing strength off of this level. So we stayed in this pretty tight channel. I really just thought we'd retrace to this mid here. That was my initial goal, that we would just retrace to the mid. We got a lot more and actually got even more the next day. UUU, same thing, a little clear because it had a doji on that day. Had a doji on the day. Yeah. So the signal was the same, but you get the same thing. You get this big downward compression candle, and you really think, all right, this is headed for the dirt. It flips in a tight zone. That's your signal that we're going to retest this area one more time. That's enough range to trade. And again, it got the continuation. So I try to call things like that when I see them, as well as PFE. Not even really set my trade regularly. But when you get the alert on a conviction level that you've traded previously in the past and it's been successful for you, want to bring it to your attention. And exactly what I saw here. We saw a great day with a real quick, you can't even see it on this chart, a real quick test. I mean, it was quick of that 50 level, and then followed by a higher low, which told me it's time to go. Um, and did the same thing the next day. You're just getting these baby steps up before the move. Real easy to see if you understand that this has been respected in the past. And that's kind of what I constantly preach to you guys is I don't care what you're playing, as long as you learn them. ASRT was another one. I called this Monday, or excuse me, called it in voice, said, hey, this 3 test is gonna work, and we popped right through that. We came back down to 3. I mentioned it again is that's gonna turn into support, and man, we get another 10%. Um, it's nothing more than I just know the chart and how the chart reacts. And that's the skills that we want to pass on to you guys. So focusing on plays will help you do that instead of jumping around to just the 9 plays that you think are hot today. And one I would like to review also is Nat. Just straight up all week, and not too many people were on it. Beautiful flow read. Chart progression was all there. We came perfectly out of consolidation. Just pointing it out so we be a little more mindful that some of these safer plays may not move as fast as you like, but in the long run you will win off of these. It's an 80-cent move in 5 days. Real close to 75%. Excuse me, 50%. But yes, power move in 5 days with real low risk. All right, couple here real quick that I'm watching. Getting close to my zone expo. Played this off at 99 level, the dollar level. We're at the top of the zone. That's 10%. Looking for it to confirm in here. We're getting kind of tight. This is a rinse and repeat stock for me because it offers 30 to 40% range to 100% range when it does come off the levels of support. Still like everything about this play. Yeah, I'm just looking for higher low here, and then maybe a test back to this 140 level. Talked about Kern and Clever and Tilray, but Kern and it looks like the least risk here at $1. Clever was a little bit more risky. A little bit more risky, and actually we're looking for it to come maybe even down to the $1.20, $1.40, $1.20 range. Tilray would be the other mention on the lead plays, but those are definitely be mindful of those. Just don't feel like they're finished yet. I don't really talk about this one much, but $10 ads, anything that's a $10 ads, we're sitting real pretty right now. Just waiting for the PSNY to come out, which is the actual official Polestar becoming the company. The flow reads are kicking in, so you can still add 11, 12, high 11, low 12s, but the ones that trusted this one are about to be rewarded here. So I also talked about a lot of the big guys like AMD. Who else did we go over? We didn't go over Apple. AMD, like Teladoc. Just a few guys that are on a shelf and about to die, it seems like. This will be under 100 next time I do a video. I just wanted to mention it so when I do it I can say, see, look, it's under 100 now. Semis in general, not a good spot. There is some decent ones. Play the ETFs. Probably a better spot. I'm liking this play a little better. It'll probably definitely be on my sub $1 stocks. I like the 77 level. Professor had really strong flow reads on this. It just had a bad week. Buy red candidate. And the same with Kind. More of the real estate angle. It's just the one I like from a chart perspective. 522 is my bottom. Pretty safe ads from there going into the week. It's got to let this sector pick up a little bit. But I like these frying pan bottoms that are being created. Talk about Rite Aid kind of being a buy red opportunity. Maybe one more flush around ER. Definitely an overreaction here. And also just a overall, if you go on the more historical level of this level right here is pretty much been the ad zone for decent moves in the past. So just something to be kind of watched. Don't let this one get up without you. Maybe set an alert somewhere in the I'd say in the $8 range. But yeah, let's follow this thing down and not let it get up without us. And we talked a little bit about the ADRs, the Chinese plays. I like the ones Professor likes, especially DIDI. This is the only one I really have to add to it. 165 has been beautiful. Just looking for continuation. These candles usually have really good range. I would play anything from 150 to $2. That's kind of the range I'm looking at this week. Try to get a little bit of a dip below this 165. All right, everybody, let's have a good week. Trade safe. Let's get to know a couple stocks real well. Have a plan. Execute when that plan comes to you, and take profit according to your plan. Do I really got to say that? I'm not a financial advisor. As always, read the room and respect the lines.